Welcome back to yet another one by Coach Klassik King L here. It's a beautiful day. My life been a little bit hectic, but you know what? I'm still highly blessed. I'm still highly favored by the best. Always keep a smile on my face. No matter what happens to me, I'm gonna always be good in this life and the next. All right. All right. So this video, I'm gonna discuss some more philosophies. It's about never forget who you are. All right. Now, everything that's on my channel, everything that I talk about, my philosophies, the teachings, I'm not perfect. You know, um, as I've stated before, I don't believe in just one leader. We all lead. You know, the student leads the teacher, and the teacher leads the student. All right, no one's better than the next. All right, you teach me, I teach you. All right. So if you learn anything from me, if you take anything away from my videos, if you take anything away from my teachings, my philosophies, hey, I'm grateful for that. Very, very grateful. And if there's anything that you can shine light on for me, if there's something, if there's a topic that I touch on, or philosophy or teaching that's not exactly right, hey, point it out for me. Because even the smartest of people make mistakes, right? All right. So let me get into this. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I hope you get something from this. All right. Get out your pens and papers. Always take notes. Notes are important. Notes are important because this can't contain everything. You know what I mean? No matter how much you learn, there's always stuff coming in and out. So you got to write things down so that when you can retain this knowledge, all right, you don't have to strain yourself trying to remember things. If you write it down, it makes it a whole lot more easier to bring it back forth into memory. All right. So let's go about this. All right. So we're gonna start with the spirit experiences itself in many different forms and lifetimes, both male and female, even as animals. All right. So that means, despite how you may feel, even for men, despite how you may feel, if you feel, you recognize that in your spirit and your soul that you've been here before, that you experienced many lifetimes, you might have had a lifetime where you was a woman. Let's be honest. You know, I can admit it myself. In this lifetime, I'm a man. I was a man in previous lifetimes. I believe I was a woman in previous lifetimes. I know for sure that I was probably several different animals um, in previous lifetimes. You know, it's something in your spirit that you just feel. It's knowledge that you just really can't put your finger on. It's something that's very individualistic to you because not everybody has been here um in this world the same length of time. There are some souls that just came to this world within the past maybe 10 years, born into it, you know? So if you feel like your spirit has been here for a while and you experienced many different lifetimes, that's a blessing, you know? That is a blessing. And the person that you are really speaks volumes on that. The person that I am speaks volumes on my soul, speaks volumes on my spirit. And it tells me that I've been here countless times. That's why everything, I can't even say everything's up here because everything's really sold into the spirit. Your spirit is what carries, your soul is what carries on the knowledge from lifetime to lifetime. And that's something that nobody and nothing could take away from you. They can try to take all the knowledge out of your head, but the true knowledge is in your soul and your spirit. And that's something that nobody can take away from you. Even if you sell your soul to the devil, that's something that he still can't take away from you. All right? People can only do what you allow them to do. They can only take from you what you allow them to take from you. And even if you are being taken, even if you are being manipulated, even if you are being taken advantage of, they still won't get your whole essence. Just always remember that. They still won't get your whole essence. You know? But anyway, yeah, man, if you feel like you've been here, if you had an intuition, like you've been here for many a lifetime, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. All right. Shout out to ODB. Was a brilliant brother, very misunderstood. But he knew who he was. You know, he knew who he was. You know, it might have came off in a ghetto type, ghetto type way. But that's him. He recognized who he was and he stepped into his creativity. You know, there's a saying, there's a quote. A fool can never be a smart man, but a smart man can always play a fool. You know? And I believe that ODB was a hell of a lot smarter and intuitive than the way that he came off. You have to read in between the lines, and you have to really dissect not only his music, but dissect his interviews, just dissect his whole being. There's some people in this world that it's hard to understand them. I know for myself, I may be hard to understand. But that doesn't discount my spirit. That doesn't discount the being that I am. And if uh, I may be understood by many, but as long as some understand, as long as some grasp, that's all I need. That's all I need because they'll be able to take that knowledge and they may be able to put it in a way to where more people can understand. So I ain't here to prove nothing to nobody. I'm not here to kiss nobody's ass. I'm not here to make anybody, necessarily happy. Because at the end of the day, I gotta be you. We gotta be happy with ourselves. You know, I recently learned, and I put this out in another video that I realized I'm a black sheep. I realized that I'm a black sheep. You know, for a while I never recognized it. You know, I always seen the black sheep as, other people, but I started to realize I stepped more into myself, more into my life. That you know what, the black sheep doesn't always present itself in a stereotypical way. It doesn't always present itself in one label or the next. You know. But anyways, I'm not gonna get too much into that. I'm gonna continue here. All right, I'm gonna continue on the concept of astrology with the sun, moon, and stars. Alrighty. So we have the sun, all right, represents God, father or man. The moon represents the spirit, mother or woman. Star represents creation, the body or child. All righty. Now, with this being said, even though the sun is represented as God, the father and man, a woman could represent the sun as well. And a man can also represent the moon, you know? All righty. And we are three and one and three, which means that we all have the sun, moon, and star in us. All right. We are the sun. We let our light shine. We are spiritual beings, and we are stars. All right. We're all stars. We're all superstars. But we gotta let our light shine. All righty. Now, that's three and one. One and three represents the family structure, man, woman, and child. All right, that's the Trinity. The Trinity is in us, and the Trinity is outside of us, man, woman, and child. The Trinity is in us. There's three in us, and we make up three. Okay, you understand that concept? Man, woman, and child is Trinity that makes up the Trinity. And the Trinity is also within us, man, woman, and child. The sun, moon, and stars is with us, it's inside of us. It cultivates us. It's what makes us us. Alrighty. I'm gonna touch on something that is gonna be very sensitive. I recently not only came across this philosophy, I've always kind of pondered on this philosophy because if you read through the text in the Bible, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see how the way preachers preach and the way they teach the Bible. I never believed the Bible in the way that it was taught to me. Right? I just never believed it in the way that it's taught to me. Because if you read it for yourself, you can read between the lines and able to put the puzzles to the pieces and put the pieces to the puzzle on me and able to realize that the Bible is really a story of yourself, of your own being. All right. So I'm presenting a concept with you that you will find. Dr. Phil Valentine touches on this. Who else touches on this? Do your research, but one you can start with Dr. Phil Valentine touches on this, and some other religious um, theologists touch on it. Other metaphysics touch on it. All right, but they talk about another thing. Everything, a lot of, I want to say everything, but a lot of things in this world that we're made to fear or made to believe that is bad, that is like demonic, is actually the opposite. They made you believe it was demonic to keep you away from it. Think about that. Think about that. If you were taught, let's say, you know how water is the nectar of life, all right? We are what they say, 60 to 80% made up of water. Water is essential to our body. We need water to survive. We can go weeks without eating, but we need water to survive. All right. Now check this out. If somebody told you and it was indoctrinated in you that water is evil, drinking water is demonic, wouldn't that affect how you think about water? Right? You wouldn't even think about touching water. You wouldn't even think about drinking water until let's say you found out that, hey, water is essential for me. That's why they told me not to drink it. Think about that. Think about that. Not everything that they said is bad is good, and what's good is bad. But there's certain principles in this world that we were made to believe, that we were indoctrinated to believe is evil, that we were indoctrinated to believe is demonic, which is actually the very opposite. All right. So I'm gonna touch on this concept. Lucifer. All right. When you think about Lucifer, you think about, oh, the devils, demons, evil, right? But listen, and like I said, do your research on it. In the Bible, it says that Lucifer is a light bringer. All right. And it also says that Yeshua, I call him Yeshua, Jesus, so-called Jesus, was a light bringer. All right. Now let me break this down. Lucifer, they say, is the first light bringer. Yeshua, Jesus, is the second bringer of light. All right. So let me break this down to you. Lucifer, in the beginning, when it talks about the snake and the snake deceiving Eve and Adam and all that, all right, that's represented as Lucifer. We're made to believe that it was demonic, it was evil, and they twisted up the story. All right. Lucifer brought them the light into the world because with perfection, there is no meaning to life. Now, that's what they say. I pondered on that a little bit, and for me, I think You know what? I was thinking that, you know what? People can live being perfect. People can live being perfect. You know, being happy, blissful, nothing going wrong, right? But now that I think about it, I don't think I will ever want to be perfect, yo. But let me continue with Lucifer. So Lucifer, the first light bringer, brought the light to bring us to bring humanity for creation uh, out of perfection. You get that? The whole meaning and the concept to that is that being perfect doesn't allow any room for growth, doesn't allow any room for expansion. If you're perfect, what's the what's like the reason? What's the meaning to life? You know, if you're perfect, what's the reason? What's the reason for life? What's the reason for existing? You know, so Lucifer, the philosophy behind Lucifer, the first light bringer, is to bring humanity out of perfection, so that way we can strive to reach perfection, or so that way we can strive to keep gaining knowledge of self. You get that? Because if you already knew yourself, it'll be like, what would be the reason for life? You know, like just kind of think about that. Think about that a little bit. Think about that a little bit. Now, um, they say Lucifer is the son of the morning. All right, that's the rising sun. All right. In the theory of you have your birth, your growth, your decline, and your rebirth. Wouldn't your rebirth, if you think about this, wouldn't a rebirth be represented as Lucifer, the light bringer, the son of the morning? Because a rebirth is you coming out of the darkness back into the light. And that's the morning. That's the morning time, the rising sun. You're being risen up again. You know, um, you have to think about these things and stop accepting concepts, start accepting teachings that are just given to us, and we just run with it and just believe it. Especially if you read the Bible and you're able to put the pieces to the puzzle and read it for yourself and not leave it to somebody else to keep reading the same old lessons to you. Read it for yourself. All right. Um, yeah, you just gotta think about these things. Right? You just gotta think about these things. That's why there's such thing as like a philosophy, like a Luciferian philosophy, the light bringers. All right. Remember, like I said, things that we think we know, we were taught to keep us away from certain things. So that way we would think it was evil, we would think it's demonic. But now that this knowledge has been coming back to us over the past, what, 50 years, over the past 100 years, we're getting all this back. There's lots of people, not even just me touching on it, there's people before me that were teaching on this. And if I'm being very candid, I'm gonna be very honest and very open. Very honest and very open. I recently had a, how can I put it? Wouldn't say necessarily epiphany, but I had um light brought into my life, meaning shedding light on different things, or different aspects in life, at things that are happening to me, things that are happening around me. All right. And I'll be honest, it came to me in the form of Lucifer. All right. Now, you can take that how you may. People going to run and say, oh, they the devil. You know, and I truly believe that's what they want you to think. That's what they want us to think. So we gotta think about these things. We gotta think. We gotta get out the indoctrination. We gotta use our minds and actually read things for ourselves and stop taking people's words for it. All right. Because my best teacher in life is real life experience. My spiritual teachers, my ancestors have been guiding me, and it's been a journey, and I'm learning and learning, taking notes, and I'm rolling through this, baby. I'm rolling through this. That's why I'm excited to be able to give this knowledge away, because we have to become more back into ourselves. Okay, I will die. I will die doing this. I, I love teaching. I love giving to people. That is my life's mission. I will give till I die. Even right now, me going through my own personal issues. You know what I mean? The devil, and his minions, his demons, are attacking me hard. But even still, with that being said, I'm still standing, still moving. I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens. In this life or the next life, I'm gonna still do the same thing. I'm gonna still do the same thing. My soul, my spirit, I'm a teacher. You know, I'm a natural born young elder. But I'm not gonna get too much into that. Let's get back to this. Lucifer, yes, I had an epiphany of Lucifer over the past few months, and it brought me light to certain things, like brought me knowledge. It didn't lead me. It wasn't a demonic spirit. It wasn't the devil leading me to like something bad. It actually shed light. It brought light to me, and it came to me in the form of coded, like coded, a Luciferian code or something. I can't explain it, man. There's a lot of things spiritually that just happens that just can't be explained. You know, and the people that have experienced spiritual knowledge, spiritual insights, and spiritual guidance, y'all understand what I'm talking about. Some things you just can't, you just can't explain why it happens to you. It just does. You don't know why the ancestors came to you, why you were given this knowledge. It it just happens. All right. So Lucifer brought us out of perfection. The first light bringer to teach us that there's no life to being perfect. Okay. And I'm perfectly imperfect. And I love being imperfect, because that means there's so much more that I can learn. There's so much more that I can take in. It leads me to know that no matter how much I think I know, there's always more to learn. I can always grow and grow and grow. There's no cap. There's no there's no end. There's no roof to growth. I will never want to be perfect, because that'll be the end, right? Reaching perfection is like, okay, I reached perfection. What else is there for me to do in this world, in this universe? I guess maybe at that point, you become a guardian, you become a protector, you become a true guardian of the universe. Maybe that's what it is. Once you get the highest level, you reach the highest level of knowledge. I don't even know if there, maybe the supreme creator, you know. But me, the supreme creator is me, you, him, animals, plants, rocks, everything in the universe is God. The good and the bad, experiencing himself. Everything is God. Everything is the creator, part of the creator, experiencing himself in different forms, one way or another. All right. Um. So Lucifer, they say, was the first light bringer, brought us out of perfection, so that way we have more meaning for life. We can grow. We can learn. We can have a yearning for knowledge, a yearning to be better, to seek more in life, you know. Alrighty. And Yeshua, or Jesus, the second light bringer, came back to bring us, or not to bring us to perfection, or not to make us perfect, but to get us back on the right track of righteous living. You know, I think Yeshua came at a time when the world was in turmoil, kind of like what it is like now. It was in a lot of chaos. It was unbalanced. It was more negative. It was more like evil in the world, lower vibrations in the world was throwing off the vibrations of this world. Okay, so Yeshua came at a time to restore balance, to restore knowledge back upon the world, back upon the earth, so that way the mankind, fallen mankind, can find themselves again. All right, the fallen, the fallen. All righty, fallen mankind. Yeshua came to shed light to the fallen, so that way we can remember who we are, so that way we could gain more knowledge of self and knowledge of not only just self, but the universe too, our higher self. You know, get us back more connected to the supreme creator, get us back into righteous living. All right. Um, they say there's different philosophies on who Yeshua was, who Jesus was, whether he was the son of God, the son of man, was he was if he was a prophet. I think he was all of that. He was the son of God, son of man, and he was a prophet. Just like I'm the son of God, I'm the son of man. I wouldn't give myself the title prophet. I don't necessarily want that like that title. I just love giving knowledge and teaching people what I've learned and what I feel like the rest of the community, the rest of fallen humanity needs to learn. You know, including myself. We got to spread this knowledge. Even if I'm going through my own phase in life, even if like right now I'm going through my own valley in life, the lowest point that I've ever had in my life. But you know what? During this low point, I feel even greater than I ever have in my life. You know? So, you know, I said you got a growth, you got a birth, or growth, or a decline, and a rebirth. And I've been in my decline, you know? And even in my decline, I'm still going. So no matter what happens in life, we still must keep going. Alrighty. Um, I always been a seeker of knowledge. But anyways, yeah, so Jesus came back. Well, Jesus came at a point in time where certain knowledge needed to be sown back into humanity, back into the world. So Jesus was what they feel was like the second light bringer. Alrighty. So that's the concept between Lucifer and Jesus. Both light bringers, but came to bring light for two different reasons. All right. Lucifer um, brought us light to get us out of perfection, so that way we can grow in knowledge. We have something to live for. We have knowledge that we can obtain. Because if we're perfect, if we're perfect, what's the point of life? Right? If you know everything, I wouldn't even say know everything, but if you're a perfect being, what's the point of life? The point of life is to learn and to grow, right? So that's the concept of Lucifer, to bring us out of perfection, so that way we can reach perfection. And Jesus, Yeshua, came back at a point in time to give fallen humanity back certain knowledge of themselves and of the universe. Um, the same way like Noble Drew Ali came back to help fallen humanity, get back certain knowledge. He was a prophet. He came at a time where, you know, the community really needed certain knowledge to regain knowledge of ourselves and our place in the universe, our place in this world. MLK, same thing. He came to teach us a certain level of knowledge, and that was love. He came to teach us love, beauty, and compassion. You know, because even though we have um, people of the world, we have every right to be upset, to be angry and frustrated with the system, and just with the chaos and all these insidious agendas that these high organizations have against humanity. We have every right to be frustrated and upset, but we always have to remember that we cannot allow ourselves to get out of balance. All right, we got to keep the love, keep compassion, keep the beauty within inside of us. Don't allow that. Don't allow the BS to get us ugly. You know, we gotta keep the fire burning in us, and at the same time, well, we gotta keep two fires burning in us. We gotta keep the fire of I wouldn't necessarily anger, but the fire of wanting change. You know what I mean? The fire um of wanting to fight for what's right, and fight for ourselves, fight for our community. We got to keep that fire. And on the other hand, we got to keep another fire burning, which is that of love, that of beauty, that of compassion. All right. It's all about balance. It's all about balance. Love is the highest vibration. It is the ultimate vibration of the universe. What's one of the famous words of the Bible? In the very beginning, for God so loved the world. Jesus, for God so loved the world that he gave his own begotten son. All right. Love is the highest vibration. For a man, for a person, for an entity to give their son as a sacrifice, give their son as a sacrifice to save everyone else or to bring knowledge to everyone else. That's love, ain't it? That's love. That's love. That's love. Is it not? Is it not? Like, think about it. For a man to give up his only son just so that way the world could be better off, just so that way the world can gain knowledge to bring back love, peace, and happiness upon the land. That's love, is it not? That is the highest vibration. That is the highest vibration. Love, compassion, beauty will always outshine evil, will always outshine negative vibrations. The lower entities will always outshine. Love will always win. Love will always win. Even if it's a struggle, love will always come on top, baby. Love will always come on top. You know, love will always come on top. All right. So yeah, that's about Lucifer and Yeshua. Another concept I'm gonna touch on: God. God lives in you. You live in God. So on and so forth. Okay. So let's say this is God, this bigger figure. All right. That's God. That's you and God. All righty. And vice versa. This is you and this is God. So if you think about it, think of just like a picture and 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 a picture that just keeps going on and on. This is God, you're in God, God is in you, you're in God, God is in you, you're in God, God is in you, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. All right. I am God. All right. I am God, and me myself is inside of me. Okay. And me, myself, my being, who I am, is in God, the universe, and the universe is inside of another God, and that God is inside of a bigger God, and that so forth and so forth. Right? So forth and so forth. I am God, and God is in me. Okay? And God is outside of me. I am in God, and God is in me. Think of what do they call it? Like the Swedish dolls? Or is that what they're called? It's like those wooden dolls where it looks like a bowling pin almost, like a small bowling pin. It's usually of like a lady or something, and it's wooden. Um, you take off the top, and there's another figure inside there. You take out that top, there's a smaller figure inside there. Think of that. Think of that. All right. It's just like that. It's like a picture and 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 a picture. It's a body within 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 a body and with a body. And all of us collectively, we make up one body. Okay. And that bigger body that we make up is part of another ecosystem that makes up another body. Okay. So think about this. Just like we have cells, red blood cells, white blood cells, bacteria, um, um, even parasites, um, nerves, like everything that's inside of us, we are that inside of God. You get it? So let me break it down. So think of like, I'm gonna just break it down to like red cells, blood cells, and like other bacteria that's in us. They are living creatures with their own brains, with their own functions. You don't have to tell a red blood cell what to do, right? They do what they need to do within the body. And we ourselves, we are like cells. Me, you, we are cells. We have our own function, we have our own mind, right? We go throughout this world, which is part of a bigger body, which we are cells in a bigger body. We are in a living, we are in somebody right now. Isn't that amazing? We are in somebody right now. We are cells in another being, in a bigger being. All right, so think of like a giant. We are cells in that giant. Think about that. Isn't that amazing? And just like we're cells, we're conscious entities. We're cells made in all in a much larger body, as within, so without. We have living entities within ourselves. You know, we have living environments within ourselves, a whole different ecosystems within ourselves. Think of every different part of your body is a different ecosystem. It could be even a different solar system. Think about that. If we live in a universe where we have different solar systems, think about your body as a universe where you have different solar systems. Right? Just think about that. As within, so without. As within, so without. There's a universe outside of you, and there's a universe within inside of me. I have stars, I have planets, I have galaxies all throughout my whole entire body. All right. And just like it's inside of me, it's outside of me as well. I'm experiencing the universe, the same universe that's inside of me, I'm experiencing outside of me. You know, we have the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, different universes, which is all part of a bigger body. All right, so remember, God lives in you, and you live in God. So on and so forth. I don't know about you, but That's amazing to me. That's amazing to think about. That is truly phenomenal. That is truly like I don't know, man. I get excited about this. You know, because once you really know that death is not a death, man, it puts a whole new meaning on it. Like it gives you a whole new like thought process on like everything in life. It gives you a whole new perspective on people around you. You know, and before I cut this video short, um, or off or done, let me touch on the basis of sin. Sin is not your typical indoctrinated um viewpoint. Okay, we judge ourselves. We are the biggest judges of ourselves. In the book, The Four Agreements. All right. It talks about how an animal pays only one time for a mistake that it makes. But we as people, we pay multiple times over and over and over and over again for the same mistake. And it says that that's the true injustice. Injustice is paying the same, it's having to pay over and over again for the same mistake. Okay. If you pay for your mistakes, move on. But it's not, it's ourselves that make our own selves pay for a mistake by living in the past, by not getting over certain things, by telling us we're not worthy, by putting ourselves down, by believing false narratives, by sowing in negativity in our lives. And we are also placed in injustices or placed to relive our mistakes through other people. Other people will make you feel bad over and over and over again for the same mistake over and over again that you've already paid for. They will continue to make you pay for it. You know, that's the true injustice of the world. It's paying countless times or over and over again for the same mistake. All right, you pay for your mistake, move on. Move on and just become better. That's all. Like even in myself, you know, I paid countless times for the same mistake. I guess that's part of humanity, right? That's what we do. We do it to ourselves, right? And that's all part of growth. That's all part of being imperfect. If we were perfect, we wouldn't be able to come across this knowledge. It'd be just like we'd just be living. You know? So sin is pretty much anything that you do against yourself that you judge yourself for. Now, that's not to say that, oh, you could go out here and let's say murder somebody, and just because you don't judge yourself or don't feel bad about it, that it's not wrong. You know, it's we can all agree that that goes against the universe, right? That's wrong, right? But at the end of life, it's not some ultimate being that judges you. It's you standing in the mirror. You judge yourself. When we die, it's not an ultimate force of the universe that judges us. We judge ourselves. A mirror is put in front of us. Everything is laid out, what we did in this life. And how we judge ourselves is what we see in that mirror. All right. And if you judge yourself in a negative way, you are casting your own self down. You know. Now, don't get me wrong, too. Like I said, there are universal laws in place that you can't just do what you want and then look in the mirror and still believe that you're the best around. You know what I mean? So there still are like universal concepts, universal laws that we must follow, or we gotta be a part of. Alrighty. But all right, I'm gonna cut this short. Let me give you another view of the board real quick, so that way you want to take notes, write this down, pause the video, so that way you can write this stuff down, take your notes. All right. And as always, like I said, man, this is each one teach one. If I'm saying anything wrong, you know, please call me out. Let's have a debate on this. That's what life is all about. That's what this is all about. We're gonna debate. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna figure this thing out. All righty. You teach me, I teach you. I believe I can learn from anything. I learn from a child. I learned from paint drying on the wall. I learned just from sitting on a bench, just looking around, just at the world, at people, animals, at the sky, at the trees, at the flowers, at water, at everything. We can learn something from everything. Everything we do is a learning lesson. Everything we partake in is a learning lesson. I can learn something just from everything. There's nothing off limits that I could not learn from. All right, so always keep that in mind. Never limit your education to a formal education, meaning you don't have to sit down in a classroom in a formal setting to learn. You learn from anything. You just got to keep your mind open to be able to receive certain knowledge, to be able to receive certain lessons. But don't keep your mind, be careful about opening up your mind. Because I recently seen it was an analogy of um, of a car with your windows down driving into mud. Keep your windows up. If your windows are down, you're gonna drive straight into dirt, straight into some mud. It's gonna get inside the vehicle, right? So make sure that we put blocks on our minds. Um, Even for myself, I got to remember that I got to put certain blocks on my mind, um, so that way to keep out certain things, you know. But real quick before I end this, I take the good and the bad. You know what I mean? Because it's not just enough just to take in the good, just to take in the good. We got to take in some of that bad. We got to know what some lower vibrations are doing. We got to know what's going on. We got to experience it so that way we can learn how to move around it. We can learn how to battle against it. We got to know our enemy, right? And sometimes, listen, sometimes to know your enemy, you got to allow yourself to get hurt. That's the only way for you to understand the type of attack that they're going to come at you at, right? Sometimes you got to take hits. So that way you could be like, okay, that's how you attacking me? Okay. I'm gonna keep that, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna keep that knowledge. Oh, you hit me with that? Okay. I see you. I see you. I'm writing notes. Oh, you hit me with that? That's new. Okay. I'm gonna remember that, you know? So never be ashamed. Never be ashamed of getting attacked by negative spirits. Just remember how those attacks manifested in your life, and find a way to build up a defense against it. Find a way to overcome those attacks. Okay, we can't just always have the good. We got to have the bad, so that way we can combat our enemies. We can combat those evil, negative spirits with insidious agendas. All right. All right. So thank you for tapping in with the God. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses, the kings, the queens, everybody, peace to the universe, peace to everybody spreading knowledge, peace to everybody. Now, I recently came across that we're gonna stop saying peace, all right, because we don't want a piece of anything. We want the whole thing. We want the whole thing, right? So I'm gonna say completion. Completion to everybody. A whole 360. I don't want to appease. I don't want 90 degrees of something. I don't want 180 degrees. I don't want 40, 50, 270 degrees. I want the whole thing. All right. So completion. That's what I'm gonna start saying on going forward. Completion, which means may you reach enlightenment. May you reach peace, love, and happiness. Completion. May you be whole. May you be fulfilled in life. Completion. All right. May you reach completion. Everybody. I love y'all. As always, stay safe. Be yourselves, and no matter what you do in life, make sure you always, always, always have fun. All right. I'll catch y'all later.